What an incredible time to be working in tech. And like I say this a lot to people around me and to my customers, but honestly, I've been in this game for 27 years. I have never seen tech develop, change, and grow at the rate that it is at the moment. And it's largely being driven by AI and everybody integrating AI into their products. I'm Sean, started this video series called Driving with Sean, where I basically make use of my time driving around, talking to you about tech, about cars, and about all kinds of other fun stuff that happens in my life. So recently I've kind of thrown myself into the world of AI, right? So ChatGPT popped up on the radar November 2022, end of November. And I got married like in the middle of November, beginning of November that year. And I often say to my wife, like, so much of what's happening in the world of AI did not exist when we got married 2.5 years ago. Like, that to me is just like absolutely mind-boggling. ChatGPT has come a long way. The other thing to consider, and the other thing I say to people all the time is, this is as bad as it gets. AI is not going to get worse. Every single day that passes, AI is getting better. Remember 6 months ago when you generate an image and there'd be people like 9 fingers? Yep, that's a thing of the past. Image generation is phenomenal. Google launched Veo 3 not so long ago. There are people making big money on social media making AI videos. There's a bunch of them that are actually quite funny. There's one with like a gorilla with an Australian accent, and he's always playing a Dynamite, and it's actually hilarious. And this kind of stuff you can create now with AI is gobsmacking. And kids growing up today who are in school, primary school, high school, chances are the thing that they're going to do when they finish school does not exist yet. It's probably going to be AI related, AI powered, AI fueled, whatever you want to call it. But that thing probably doesn't exist, because I've got a teenager, I've got 2 young adult boys who, when they were teenagers in school, did not know AI existed. And they both use AI and are deeply entrenched in the AI world at 18 and 20. So, this didn't exist 3 or 4 years ago when they were in high school trying to figure out what they were going to do with their lives. And as a dad, as a father, that poses an interesting dilemma, because how do you prepare your kids for the world ahead? How do you, what do you guide them on? So anyways, as I was saying, I kind of have thrown myself into this ChatGPT and AI world significantly more. ChatGPT, I've gone and created a whole bunch of projects. One of the most useful projects I've found is actually creating a productivity project. And what I've done with the productivity project is I've given an instruction saying, basically, you're my personal or executive assistant. Here are things I need to get done every single day. I need to get through emails, I need to deal with clients, quotes, blah, 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 blah. And then every morning I get up, I'm like, how's it? Good morning. What's on the cards? And it goes, these are the things you need to get to. I then tackle 1 or 2 of them, and as my day goes, constantly giving it updates. I'm constantly telling it, I've got through my inbox 0. It normally lasts about 15 seconds. And then it'll say, cool, that's knocked off. The next thing you need to focus on is this. As I deal with clients and I think about stuff, I'm like, I need to remember to do that, or I need to remember to do that. I use the voice feature a lot, especially when I'm driving. And I'll just be throwing things throughout my day into ChatGPT. End of the day, I go give me a roundup. It says, cool, you accomplished this, you did this, you did this, you did this. And these are the other things that still need to be done. It's not 100% flawless. There are still some issues. So often it'll just forget to remind me about something, which is not a crisis, because I don't rely on it 100% for everything. I do have a brain that occasionally works. But for the most part, I just go what's happening. It helps my ADD brain. Really, really does make a difference. I prefer it to a normal to-do list. And anyway, so that's massively helpful to me. I've used ChatGPT in a whole bunch of other places as well, where you can literally you can give it data and it remembers. One of the new things that has kind of evolved in ChatGPT over the last month or 2 is its ability to remember conversations or remember information across conversations, right? So you can now chat to it about something, and when you have another conversation, it can actually reference that. So like, it's become better at remembering, or at least documenting what you like, or what you've discussed, or what's happened. And that's enormously helpful, because there's a lot of different things that I talk to about. Like, like I run a tech company, so there's a million different things going on all the time. There's, emails, there's development projects, there's client projects, and being able to have a vast array of those conversations and have it kind of remember that stuff and be able to record it later is useful, and linked to, like, often I'll be having one conversation and it'll reply using data or referencing something else, and I'll go like, that's pretty accurate, and that works. I find that useful. I'm very ADD. I find that useful from an ADD perspective, because I can talk to ChatGPT about multiple things at the same time, and it does not care. So I'll have ChatGPT open on my laptop, and I'll be asking it questions and doing things, and then literally while it's answering on my laptop, I'll be asking it something on my phone or my iPad, and like, it doesn't care. Like, it'll just try that with human. Try speaking to your partner and having 3 conversations at once, and tell me how that works out for you. So like, the world of AI is changing rapidly, and it's getting better, and tech is getting more interesting, but at the same time getting more scary. So one of the products we sell at Rocking is a security product. We kind of do an end-to-end security solution, and the amount of really, really scary things we're seeing. Security is such a moving target. So while you're in this world of like, tech is fascinating, AI is becoming incredibly interesting, you're also dealing with these like incredibly real threats. We had a client lose a significant amount of money about a week ago just because they didn't have proper security in place. So like, you have this dichotomy of like, yes, you want to embrace the tech, yes, we want to roll out more AI tools. Let's take client SharePoint data, like, suck that into AI, give them a chatbot that can reference that data. You got terabytes of data, people hunting for documents, institutional knowledge. It's all there, just nobody can actually access it. AI helps you with that, but you can't get to those things if like the basics aren't covered. So like, that company's not going to say, cool, take my 19 terabytes of SharePoint data, let's index it and build an AI bot, when we've just lost R500,000 because somebody's email was compromised and they gave away their credentials, got man in the middle, and hijacked. So like, it's this like constant battle between how do we do cool stuff, how do we build new things, but at the same time, how do we make sure that we're not risking data? And then there's the entire argument, which I'll talk about in another video, like, what happens to your data inside ChatGPT? Because I'm giving ChatGPT a lot of my data at the moment, and there's an avenue of like, you actually have to be okay with it. You can't just embrace the world of AI and not be okay with giving away some of your data. But I think I'll talk about that in the next video. For now, have a good week, and I'll see you in the next one.